So we are almost at the halfway mark for 2022. And on today's episode of Financial Fridayz, we're just checking in with you to see how far along on your journey you are to achieving those goals that you set all the way back in January. So the conversation is a simple one. We're trying to incorporate the big S in the conversation. That's the S of savings and how that will help you to achieve those goals that you have set. We have two wonderful guests here who are experts in their own right, and we will get right into the conversation on Financial Fridayz right after this quick break. Don't move. Welcome back to Financial Fridayz from wherever you're joining us. We're live on Instagram, we're live on our Facebook platforms, and we're also live on YouTube. We are just having a conversation today just to check in with you to see where you are with those savings goals or whichever goals that you may have set for yourselves earlier in the year. Today, I'm speaking with Latoya Stewart-Rowe, who is the brand manager of Ligani VM Building Society. And I'm your host, Darian Reid, Group Corporate Affairs and Communications Officer. We're not wasting any time. As usual, you can always interact with us in the comments, leave your questions, leave your comments, and just share your views about the conversation that we're having because we don't want to leave anyone out of it. Welcome, Latoya. How are you?
I'm good, Darian. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm very excited to have this particular conversation. All right, so before we do anything, let's just get some ground rules out the way. Who is Latoya Stewart-Rowe? Who are you?
Latoya Stewart-Rowe loves music, but on a more serious note, I am a lifelong learner. I believe in always being your best self. I fiercely support myself and those I'm connected to with achieving the goals that we set for ourselves. And in terms of offering financial advice to our members, I support our members with identifying where they are in their lives and the goals that they want to achieve.
Okay, and you've been with the VM group for
over 10 years.
For about 10 years.
I've worked in the branches and I've worked in the mortgage center.
Okay, so we have a real expert to give expert opinion, expert advice, because you know what you're talking about.
Yes.
For want of a better term. All right? All right, so Latoya, we're talking about savings today. In the simplest of terms, how do you define savings?
I define savings as setting aside money for what in Jamaica we call a rainy day, as well as a way to guarantee your peace of mind. Putting aside money to guarantee your peace of mind.
Okay, and we know that there are different rules or principles or methods that people use to save. Could you just share some of those with us?
All right, my personal favorite is the 50-30-20 rule, where essentially 50% of your income goes towards the needs that you have, the things that you have to take care of. 30% is towards your wants, and 20% is towards your savings.
Okay, so that's the 50-30-20 rule.
Right.
Are there other
There
methods?
is another one called the pay yourself first rule, where you would set aside the amount that you wish to save before doing anything else.
Okay.
So before your essentials and your wants, you would put aside your savings component.
Which one do you use?
50-30-20.
All right, the 50-30-20. So 50 towards your needs.
Yes.
30% goes towards your wants.
My wants.
All right, let's talk about needs and wants. How do we distinguish between those two?
Your needs are the things that you cannot do without. You have to eat.
Food,
You have to eat food. You may want a steak or you may want salmon, but you have to eat food.
Okay, all right.
So your needs are your non-negotiables, really. And your wants are the things you can do without.
So needs, food, we're talking about shelter, we have to live somewhere. We're talking about, I guess, clothes to a certain degree.
Yes, because, I mean, you do need clothes. I wouldn't put clothes in the want category. I'd put it in needs. But it is the type of clothes that you would want.
And I'm sure bills would come into that because we don't want nobody come cut off the light.
Exactly.
We don't want to turn on the pipe on the water and run out. So we need to get those things out the way. 50%
You have to get those out of your
earnings
first.
Okay, towards the needs.
Yeah, that works for me.
That works for you. All right. And now the wants now. So you mentioned the food thing. So we have to eat. It's a matter of what we eat.
Right.
We have to dress up. It's a matter of what we wear.
Right.
So say for instance, somebody who feels that, I must have my Netflix account. That's a need for me because after a long day at work, after a long day at school, I'm going to come home, I'm going to chill, Netflix and chill. What about that? What do you say to that?
And it may be for you because a great part of life for me is knowing yourself, knowing what is important to you, and being willing to sacrifice for that. So if for you it's the Netflix, it's in your want category, but if you can indulge, if you can afford to indulge, go right ahead. Otherwise, people get creative and use YouTube as a free platform to stream movies as well. So if you can't step up to the Netflix and chill, you can look into YouTube.
All right. So when people hear about savings, there's this, I guess, stigma attached to it that if I'm going to save, it means that I'm depriving myself of some form of nicety, something. How do you respond to that?
It can be to an extent. It may be where you're depriving yourself for a specific period with a goal in mind, but there's a way to condition yourself to know that I'm working towards this thing and I'm doing this for this time frame. But you can still find cost-efficient ways to indulge in the things that are important to you that will help you to unwind so you don't feel like you stop living. You're still living, but you would go for a picnic and you will pack your picnic basket from home, so it's a cheaper way. You won't necessarily go and buy a bucket of KFC. You would find a more cost-efficient way to still live and enjoy your life.
And that's the point. You're cost effective, and that is in relation to how much you take home in terms of how much money you make.
Right.
All right, guys, I'm just going to remind you that you can leave your comments in the chat. You can ask your questions. The expert is here to provide expert opinion and advice just to help you wade through those waters, particularly in this post-pandemic era. But then again, we can't even say post-pandemic because we're smack in the middle of it. Inflation is upon us. So just ask the relevant questions that you have, and Latoya will be sure to respond to those questions. All right, so we've covered the definition of savings. We've covered the different methods that people use to save. We've distinguished between wants and needs. All right, as it relates to the VM group, what products exist for members or even prospective clients to help them along their savings journey?
So aside from your regular savings account, one of my personal favorites is the iSAVE account. This account allows you to incrementally set aside funds for specific goals. The time frame for this is a minimum of a year, but it can continuously roll over depending on whether your goal is short-term, medium-term, or long-term.
Okay, so you made a distinction between the regular savings account, which is the VM Building Society account, and the iSAVE account. What question? Can somebody who does not have a VM Building Society account have an iSAVE account?
No.
Okay,
no,
how does that work?
So what you would do is, when we're onboarding you, we would essentially establish a savings account for you as well, because this account is designated to feed the iSAVE account. The iSAVE account is not one where you would deposit to directly.
Oh, okay.
The savings account is what we'd set up the standing order on to service the iSAVE account.
Okay, and you mentioned standing order. For those who probably don't know what a standing order is, could you just explain?
It's where there's an auto debit set up on the account to transfer funds from one account to another.
Okay.
So for your savings account, you can have an ATM card, and you can access the account at your desire. But for the iSAVE account, you're not able to freely transact from that account.
So over a 12-month period, if I make $10 per month, I can set up a standing order so that $2 will go directly to the iSAVE account.
Correct.
And that account is the account that does not come with a bank card.
No, it doesn't.
And I can't touch it within the period of a year. Or it is advised that you don't touch it.
You don't, right.
Because if you do touch it, then you would have broken the agreement.
Right.
And I think what VM is trying to help people to do is to be disciplined.
Correct.
And to just stay steadfast, stay the course as it relates to your goals or
stay
whatever
focused,
you're saving
focused on your goal and remaining disciplined in order to achieve your goal.
Okay, all right, so let's talk about the documents needed to open a VM Building Society account, which I guess would be the same thing to open the iSAVE account.
Yes, it is. Okay, so essentially you would be required to present your ID, TRN, you need proof of income, proof of address, and you would also require 2 references.
2 references?
Yes.
That's a written letter or just
No, the references can be telephone references where you provide us with their contact information and we will call them to confirm the details.
And the eligible persons that make up references are like lawyer,
Justice of the Peace, attorney, school principal, a VM employee,
or a VM member.
Manager, right, or a VM member who is fully updated on our records. Right.
So you, in our conversation before we came on air, you were speaking to the way in which the iSAVE account has transformed your life.
Right.
So you have a personal relationship with it. Could you just share a bit about that?
I do. And I was sharing with you that in my real hot girl days, I wasn't about that savings life. I was, more interested in going out, having fun, and the money that I did actually set aside was used to spend in my entertainment.
So when you say your hot girl days, we're talking about what, early 20s?
Yes, man, yes.
Okay,
yes,
so she's talking to you people, early 20s, 21, 22.
Yeah. So looking back now, I honestly, the iSAVE, I wish it existed at that time because for me, it would have allowed me to accumulate more, right, at an earlier age. But nonetheless, it helped me to establish that discipline that I needed. So it does offer a higher interest rate than a regular savings account.
Yeah.
So it does help you to get to your goal faster. We actually use that product to accumulate the deposit we needed for our home at the time.
Okay.
Yes.
So she's giving you real life experience, first-hand experience rather,
Right.
about this whole iSAVE process and it as a product, as a product to help you get to your goals.
Correct.
All right. So talk to me now. So we're talking about the iSAVE account. I know that there are different kinds of iSAVE accounts.
Yes.
Could you just run that by me?
So there's the iSAVE Easy, there's the iSAVE More, and there's also the iSAVE for Home. So the iSAVE Easy, you can start with as little as $1,000 each month to save towards your goal. The iSAVE for Home now is where I was saying earlier, it would have been good to have this account in order to save towards your deposit and your closing costs to achieving your goals towards home ownership. So the iSAVE for Home account, you can start it with at least $5,000. You can increase it depending on what you are able to set aside, but a minimum of $5,000 is required to start that account.
Okay. All right. So we have questions from Tanisha Hewlett. Oh, how do I apply for the iSAVE account? Tanisha, I hope you would have heard Latoya speak about that just now. Keisha Bailey is asking on YouTube, question, if you're a VM member, how can you enter the competition? Oh, I guess she's referring to the I Live, the iSAVE, the I Win promotion.
Yes.
All right. So Keisha, just stick with us.
Yes.
We will get right into that very, very shortly. All right. Okay. So iSAVE Easy, iSAVE More, and iSAVE
For Home.
for Home. And as it relates to the iSAVE for Home, I mean, there are a lot of millennials, young people thinking, all right, probably later on in life, you know, probably when I'm 30, 31, and I start thinking about a home. But really, now is the best time to start it.
Yeah, the best time is now,
Okay.
always. Yes.
To start now.
Yes.
All right. Okay, then, so tell me now the benefits that you believe come with savings. Why do people need to save? What benefits does it afford the saver?
It affords you peace of mind, as I said earlier, and it does allow you more options. It allows you to plan for your future, and it will allow you to achieve any goal that you can think of once you are willing to focus on that goal and remain steadfast in achieving it.
Okay, and you were sharing that you have helped clients over the years save towards different goals. So if I need to buy a car, you know, an iSAVE account is a good way of just putting some money aside to ensure that I can get this goal in whichever time period I've set this goal for.
Correct.
If I need a home, always start now. For persons who are thinking about continuing their education or you know, secondary school students transitioning to university.
Yes. There's no limit to what you can use this product to save towards, essentially. You have listed a myriad of things just now, and we could add several things to it. So you can use it for personal interests, or you can use it toward any professional goals that you want to attain as well.
Okay.
In terms of savings and accumulating the funds that you will need to offset those expenses.
Okay. All right. So Carmen Linda was asking, what if you would like to deposit to the iSAVE account directly? Latoya did address that question, Carmen. You don't directly deposit money into the iSAVE account.
Except you can when it matures. So
okay.
it's, yeah,
so
in the maturity period, you are able to do a top-up on the account.
Okay,
otherwise,
at the end of the 12 months.
12 months, right.
Okay, so some clarification for us there. All right, so I think you've answered most of our questions as it relates to savings. I hope she did. If she didn't, just keep guiding us through this process of what it means to save and how to do it in the best way possible.
Yes.
When we get back, we're going to speak with Keisha Mascoll, and Keisha Mascoll is a senior manager in group marketing here at the VM Group, and she will be telling us all about the I Live, I Save, and I Win promotion, because there's lots of money, lots of cash and surprises that are available for grabs, and you definitely want to take advantage of that. So we'll be right back.
Once I set up my transfer, that money reach my iSAVE every month. All that's left is to just live my life, while my VM iSAVE go and build with my savings every month. See, I don't have to choose. I live and I save.
Open an iSAVE account and you will qualify for a chance to win amazing prizes. Call us today to speak with a VM iSAVE advisor for more information.
I want this.
Welcome back to Financial Fridayz, where we're talking about all things related to savings. So in the first part of the conversation, we spoke with Latoya Stewart-Rowe, who is the branch manager for VM Building Society Ligani. And now I'm joined by Keisha Mascoll, senior manager for group marketing here at the VM Group. And Keisha will be giving us all the details as it relates to the I Live, I Save, and I Win promotion. Welcome, Keisha. How are you today?
Thanks, Darian. Happy to join you guys today.
All right, and we are definitely happy to have you. All right, so we're talking about the I Live, I Save, I Win promotion. What is this promotion? Why are we doing it?
Okay, so to pick up on what Latoya was saying, we are very keen on getting our members to a place where they're strong savers for a number of reasons. I mean, even in personal experience over the last couple years of COVID, it feels like a long time. I would have seen persons who are friends of mine who are self-employed that really survived the period because they had the good sense to save, and what they had to live on during that time, particularly in the entertainment space, was their savings over that period. So it really kind of cemented a lot of real-life situations where savings is critical. You don't know what can happen, so you always need to have a little reserve. So one of the goals for us is to get people to a place where they are stable with their savings. They have the wherewithal to do the things they want to do.
Yes.
They are able to live and choose, and they don't have to choose between savings and what they want to do. We've had a lot of restrictions over the last 2 years.
Yes.
People don't get to go where they want to go. They have to, there's a lot of sacrifice that has been happening. And we want to encourage them to be able to reach their goals while still having the opportunity to live their lives. And of course, something that's important to us, even in the nature of how iSAVE is developed, is to reward our members for that habit,
Definitely.
that determination towards meeting their goals. So for us, this I Live, I Save, I Win promotion was another step in saying, hey, we're here for you. We're
Yes.
backing up your savings.
Definitely.
You commit, we will support. So the promotion is really focused on having persons dedicate themselves towards saving towards their goals and giving them an incentive, a little bonus, a little top-up. We all could do with a little niceness,
Definitely.
a little extra. So the promotion is intended to support that goal towards getting, that saving towards their goal.
Okay, and the promotion started on the 2nd of May 2022, and it goes all the way until the 23rd of December.
It
Okay,
does,
so
it does.
I know that there are big prizes to be won, but there are also monthly prizes to be won. So
They're all big.
they're all big prizes. All right, so talk to us about them, some of those prizes.
All right, so let me start with how. So the ultimate prize pot is a total of $2.87 million. And how we've broken that up is to have monthly prizes. Again, we spoke about the restrictions of the past year and people really wanting some freedom and some ability to live and enjoy their lives. So we've developed a monthly prize draw where persons are able to get a local vacation
Yes.
for a weekend, up to $100,000, and we have some voucher prizes as well. So 3 people will win each month. And because we want to reinforce the ability to do what you want to do with the funds, we allow you to either take the prize of the vacation or the voucher, or you can choose the cash option.
Okay, all right.
So each month we'll have 3 winners, and those 3 winners will have an opportunity to win 100,000, 50,000, 20,000, depends on where you fall in the winnings.
Nice,
Right?
nice.
So, and then, so we want to make sure that we reinforce, and there's a few people who get a little top up each month towards their savings. And I know that a lot of the persons who will win will want to put those savings back into their savings.
Definitely.
Those winnings into their savings. So we have over the next 8 months, coming up to December. monthly winners, and then at the end of the period, we will do a grand prize draw where we'll have one person winning $1 million, one person winning
Was it 500,000?
and the other 250,000. So each month we'll have winners, and then they go back into the grand prize draw where 3 people will have an opportunity to win cash.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, Dwayne Small on YouTube is asking, when will this offer close out? So that's on the 23rd of December. That's when the offer ends.
Right.
And I'm getting another question from Alison Smith. Can you open an iSAVE account from overseas for my grandchildren? I think that was definitely related to Latoya's question.
Yes.
So the answer is?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can visit our website to get more information on how to do that.
Okay. Yes. All right. All right. Keep your questions and your comments coming, guys, because we have the experts here. Let's make the best use of them and take advantage of their expertise. All right. So remind us again how we go about participating in this particular promotion. There's a deposit to be made. So for instance, persons who do not have a VM Billing Society account. Latoya would have spoken about how we sign up with the different documents, but what do they need to do now that they've have their account?
Okay, so just to reiterate for the purpose of those who may be just joining, it's pretty simple to become a member of VM, and there are a lot of benefits. As you know, we have very low or no fees in most cases, so you don't find that your savings are depleted as with other places. And generally, because we're a group of companies, we're able to give you so much more. We're able to help you to support your savings, your investments. If you're buying property, if you need to send money from or send money from overseas, if you need to, what am I missing? I feel like if you need to plan for your pension, there's all of that. So we have the group of companies, or you can get insurance through BCIC or Canopy Insurance. There are several options for you, but as a starting point, you have to open an account with VM, which is your ID, your TRN, your initial deposit, which is as low as $1,000. If you're a child, as low as $200. And you need to have your proof of income and your proof of address. And it's pretty simple to do. Once you have that base, you can access accounts at just about any of the institutions. How do you get into the promotion?
Yes.
Latoya would have spoken about the iSAVE and the difference between what we call the funding account, the regular deposit account, and the iSAVE. And the reason why that is done is that we want to make it simpler for persons to have the consistency. And that consistency, because we're rewarding the consistency, they get a little extra interest. When you enter the promotion, you can open any deposit account. And once you're a member, you automatically get one chance in the promotion.
Okay, so everybody
who is already a member
of the
VM Building Society gets one chance.
One chance.
So you're in for the winnings already.
Oh, okay.
You have one chance, but you know how, like they say with Lotto, you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance.
Don't have a chance.
So the more tickets you have in our case, more chances you have, the more options to win, or the more likely you are to win. Okay. So for the persons now, to get each additional chance, you have to deposit $20,000.
Okay, so I'm a member of the Building Society, I have one chance.
Yes.
If I want to be a part of this promotion, I have to deposit $20,000.
If you want an additional chance in the promotion.
If I want another chance, so that 2 chances already in the pot.
Right.
Okay.
If you want to have 10 chances, you can do the math. So if you have 100,000, you have 5 chances. If you have 200,000, if you deposit, you get 10. Right.
Nice.
So what we do is we continuously reward as we go along. Yeah. And the more chances you have, the more likely you are to be drawn in the promotion as a winner. And then what we're doing is that each month you have up to a certain point. Actually, funnily enough, today is the last day for this month to be entered into the first monthly prize draw. Okay. But of course, you can continue to win over the months.
And when does the draw happen?
The draw actually happens next week, but the announcement is usually within 10 days, of the actual draw, because we have to go through verification. Our auditors are going to look at the file to make sure everything is in order.
Everything is legit.
Everything is legit. and then we make an announcement. Usually we surprise our winner. So open your account, make sure you make your deposit. You have till, 3 o'clock, Latoya?
Yes.
to make your deposit today if you haven't yet.
Okay.
And
They can do it online.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You can do it at any of our ABMs.
Yes.
And then you can
run
get going.
to the nearest ABM, guys. Run to the nearest
BM
branch.
ABM.
It's what, increments of $20,000.
Right.
So if you have $100,000 just idly standing by, just join the promotion and get 5 chances.
There you
All right?
go. There you go.
Okay, so the I Live, the I Save, the I Win promotion. Are we missing anything? Or are we missing anything about this promotion that we would want to share?
So, as I mentioned before, we're really encouraging persons to save, to
Yes.
really take your goals seriously. The general campaign we have going speaks to I Live and I Save. And the reason for that is that because we recognize that people need the chance to be free to live.
Yeah.
And while we speak about choosing or looking at what you want to achieve, there's a way to balance both things, to live, to enjoy your life, to go out and have fun. There are so many ways you can do that, and we want to kind of expose to you how do you do that while still saving for those longer term or medium term goals. And in addition to that, we're helping to boost that for you.
Definitely.
And giving you more of a reason to save.
Okay, so don't be like Latoya, guys, who in her early 20s, she braff and she spent off her money. But, you know, you're back on track now, Latoya, so you're doing both. So we have that balance right now, right?
But right, which is what as I want to say, there's no need necessarily to dismiss or to say you can't braff a little bit. Do you still use that word?
Yes.
You can't enjoy a little bit and you can't have fun. It's really a matter of looking at where your goals are, looking at the things you need, and looking at the balance. There are so many things, and I think we would have learned this in COVID. There are so many things you can still do and so many places to enjoy that still allow you to have the best of both worlds. The great thing about iSAVE is that you make a commitment, and I can tell you this, Latoya is not different from me in this respect. For me, a savings account like iSAVE is something that I find useful primarily because if I'm not a natural saver who will walk up to the branch and go so each month, it gives me the opportunity to make a commitment, and after 2-3 months, you don't miss it. I can assure you, you do not miss it. It's actually the same thing with your voluntary pension contribution. I top up my contribution to the maximum because I know after the first 2 months of missing it, I say, Lord, I can't go get sushi this month. I will forget that and I will be fine, and I'll still find a way to enjoy my life with what I'm earning, what I'm saving, or what I have back.
And
So,
similar thing for the wealth account. You know?
exactly, right. So it's really, it helps to, you see that coming out and initially like, oh my God, I'm going to have to eat crackers and sardine for the rest of the month. But really after the first couple months, it becomes such a big part of you, and you'd be shocked to see how much you've saved at the end of the month while enjoying and living.
And you're adjusting your life and probably cutting down on spending here and there, but it's not killing you.
Correct.
Because it's going towards a particular goal that you have in mind.
Balance. That's
Balance,
the word,
exactly. Balance. And also looking at, you know, there are ways to enjoy life. There are ways to be free and enjoy, and you can go out with your friends. You can decide to go to the river. I mean, there's a guy that I just became aware of that does these features of different spots in Jamaica, and I didn't know how many spots there were that are amazing for outings that cost like $100, that cost like $500. You and your crew pack up in your car, you're gone on a Saturday, and you put back the rest of the money in the iSAVE, and then you can win a little money on top of it.
Exactly. All right. All right. So Mike Crave, who is just joining us, how much do I need to start up? So first and foremost, you would need a VM Building Society account, and then you can enter into the promotion by depositing $20,000, right?
If you don't wish to enter the promotion, you can start with as little as $1,000.
Okay, so just to reiterate, if you don't wish to be a part of the promotion, you can start with as little as 1,000 Jamaican dollars. You're not killing anybody, you know. Whatever you have, you put down the little way you have. All right? Okay, so
There's one thing I wanted to double back on that Latoya spoke about with the iSAVE for Home, for example. she spoke about starting with 5,000, but we have a savings calculator that helps you to decide how much you need to save to a goal, and then you can make a determination of how my pocket look, you know. So if your deposit is gonna be 500,000, you can calculate how much each month you need to get to that. So it may be 5,000 as a starter, but some people may be able to do 20, they may be able to do 10. Yeah. It really just, it is pinned on your goal.
And the time period in which you want to achieve.
Where you are.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we get a comprehensive look at the iSAVE account, but also the iLive, the iSAVE, and iWin promotion. So guys, I think we've responded to all the questions. How to open the savings account. We already, just to reiterate, so you need your TRN, your national ID, 2 references, and those are phone numbers that you'll have to provide to VM. What else you need?
And
proof of address and proof of income.
And proof of address.
Yes.
And once you open your account, you have access to online banking.
Yes.
You have access to our ABMs, which are free of cost. What many people don't recognize, and we're still trying to educate them, is that once you have a VM account or you have a VM debit card, it doesn't matter which ABM you go to, where you go to use your card, it is free.
No charge.
Whether it's a VM ABM or another bank's ABM, it is free of charge.
We don't want free things. Talk it through.
We want free things.
All right. We have
more savings.
We have one more question before we go. Can we save in US dollars?
Yes, I was supposed to mention that.
Yeah.
For the iSAVE account, we operate in all 4 major currencies: Jamaican dollars, US dollars, pound sterling, and Canadian dollars.
Okay.
Just for clarification, so we don't have anybody saying we give them the wrong information.
Yeah.
For the
promotion, it's Jamaican dollars that are entered into the draw.
Okay.
Your Jamaican dollar.
So we hear that for the promotion, Jamaican dollars only.
Right.
All right. All right. So we'll.
But of course, if you want to save in US, you have other benefits. So there's more reason to.
Yes.
With an iSAVE account.
Exactly.
Okay. And so pound sterling, Jamaican,
and US and Canadian.
Canadian.
And Canadian dollars. All right, so with that, guys, we're wrapping it up. I think we are, the conversation did sweet, so we've gone a bit over time, but it's fine. So thank you so much for joining us today on Financial Fridayz. Thank you for your questions, thank you for your comments, and we want to say thank you to the beautiful experts, the ladies of the VM group, Mrs. Latoya Stewart-Rowe and Miss Keisha Mascoll. Not yet, Keisha?
No, not yet.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, guys. For additional details, if you need to get in touch with anybody from the VM group, you can always call us at 754-VMBS. That is 754-8627, 754-8627. Or you can send us an email at manager@myvmgroup.com. That is manager@myvmgroup.com. We hope that you will be very prosperous in your savings journey, and that your journey towards financial well-being will be one that you can look back and be proud of. Take advantage of the iLive, iSAVE, iWin promotion. Put in your $20,000, get in the runnings, because it's up to $2.8 million in cash and prizes to be won. Have a safe rest of the day, and from VM, take care, enjoy yourselves.
Which color, sir?
Yo, the 2 of them.
What are the same shoe?
Same shoes, 2 color.
Which one would you like?
Actually, the 2 of them, but in one.
What?
Me don't choose.
Okay.
I just set my goals and work with my VM iSAVE rep to figure out how to hit those goals. Then we calculate how much I need to save each month to reach my goal. Once I set up my transfer, that money reach my iSAVE every month. All that's left is to just live my life, while my VM iSAVE go and build with my savings every month. See, I don't have to choose. I live and I save.
Open an iSAVE account and you will qualify for a chance to win amazing prizes. Call us today to speak with a VM iSAVE advisor for more information.
I want